There. Move this across a little bit. Now I park the mouse over a dog hole in the bench. We should be able to see that. Pull this across a little bit. And there we go. I think it's all good. Man, oh man. I don't know what the problem was. I rebooted the wireless connection here, which is where this Cat 5 plugs into from the computer. I had beautiful download speed. I had a nice quick 7 millisecond ping. I had a 0.3 upload, when it normally should be around 20, not 0.3. And so now it's going great. Okay. All right. I don't know. Should we leave it and just keep on going? And I'll probably just go 10 minutes over. How's that sound? We've got to move this over so I can see what's happening on the side here. Alrighty then. Today on the show. Technology, isn't it wonderful? Today on the show, Victoria dressing table repairs and tidy up. Now that's this unit behind me here. I've been spending a bit of time on it during the week. I've got another camera set up over here looking down on it, and some interesting facts about the Victorian period. David Rowlands and Steve Rogerson, dovetail projects that they've sent in, and these are things that they've done with their GIKFKINS jig. So you might be interested to see that. Now I see Cole was watching on the side there. I hope he's come back. And g'day all. To err is human, to really fail up requires computers. I'm going to see if I can even punch it up even faster than what it's saying here. Give me a second. I'm going to set it up to 8,000. And we will apply. And hopefully, when my mouse starts working, okay. Hopefully it's still going to be better, but even better again. Right, the other thing, Viki'S chess sets. People have been asking to have a look at what she's doing with that. So she wrote up a little bit of a thing last night, and she's brought some over. And if you have a look in the description box below, you'll see there's a link to her eBay store, and she's doing a bit of a special at the moment. So for people in Australia, you can pick her stuff up at half price. So have a look, but I'll take you through the stuff here as well. Chinese cedar. Now, did you know Chinese cedar is a mahogany? So it's known as Chinese mahogany, and I've just cut down a multi-trunked Chinese cedar at my place with the DEWALT chainsaw that I got. I'm going to talk about how that performed. So that's something else that's on the show. Carbotech router lift competition is closing soon. Again, down the box. Yeah, Mike, we're back again. Trust me to stuff it up. It never happened before I got this haircut. You know, I've got to blame someone else. GIKFKINS jigs website link below. Also, I've put a link in the description box for Cole. And I've actually put them there down the bottom with all the other guys that supply product, because Cole brought down a GIKFKINS jig and gave it to me, which is fantastic. I'm very much appreciative of that. And any suppliers that I approach because I like their product, I won't approach a product that I don't like. Sometimes they'll give me something and I'll give you a link down the bottom so you can knock yourselves out and go for it down there. Hey Dave, go on Patreon but cannot get on. Well, you might have to subscribe. There's some things on Patreon that are actually locked, so only patrons can see them. Okay, I just received the old dressing cabinet my brother and I were working on before he passed away. I can feel I can continue with it now. Quarter sawn, silky oak. It should be beautiful when I'm finished. There you go. There you go. So let's get started with the first viewer's sender-innerer, which is David Rowlands. And I'll see if I've got a picture down here from David. And I do. Here we go. So this is Dave, thanks to you and Colin Pam for Sunday's show. That's last week. A couple of follow-up items. I mentioned in the chat during the show that you can do sloping-sided boxes with the GIKFKINS jig. I've tried this myself just recently with this tray, based on a plan from Australian Woodsmith from some years ago, using Oregon and an old pergola rafter, or from an old pergola rafter, ripped, resawn, and cut to length. It's not brilliant, but I promised myself I would have a go at non-right angle stuff when I acquired the saw stop. Compound angles are really challenging. Okay, so the next piece, this is the blanket box that he's made. Have a look at this. Cole mentioned the jumbo jig that allows you to dovetail much longer boards than the standard jig. I've used the jumbo jig to make several large boxes, including the hue and pine blanket chest for a son, and this one here, a treasure chest for a grandson. The treasure you see there is chocolate coins, cold-coated chocolate coins. How cool is that? That's just, dare I say, bloody marvellous. Good on you, David. So that's calming down. All right, so today I forgot the intro was totally stuffed. It's 24th of May, 2020. Now, also you may notice that on my second channel, I'm uploading the previous week's video as well on Sunday morning, of like a couple of hours before this show happens. Now, if you think that's a cool idea, let me know. I do it because people that are subscribed to it, to the second channel, and there's a link in the description box below, people that subscribe to that can do a revision, if you like, as to what happened the previous week before this week's show comes out. That's just a little idea I had. Okay, what's the next thing we're going to do? Let's have a look at Viki'S chess pieces. While I'm getting them, I will just throw a picture up of some of them. Now they're pretty cool. I reckon I've got a pretty clever girl. Give me a second, I'll grab one of the boards and bring it up. Actually, I'll bring the board up that's actually got those pieces on. I'm just making sure that I don't drop them. What a shame the show didn't start crystal clear like it normally does. You get used to things and then slight, tiny little hiccup. Next thing you know, where are we? There we go. Back again. All right. So here we go. I have, these are pieces that she's made. And I'm going to read through the story as to what she does. I'll turn these guys around so they're looking towards you. It's a knight, bishop, castle. Look at this guy. The thinker. And those pawns that I just showed you pictures of as well. They're pretty cool. All right. Viki's story. So she was a sender in her as well. She says, "Hi David. Thank you for showing my chess pieces and boards on your show. As you know, but your watchers may not, I'm the total opposite of you in the type of things I make and the way I go about making them. I live by the idea that God made the universe with exploding stars and black holes, so that type of chaotic creation must be fine by him. My chess men are made using a home brew of resin mixed with plaster of Paris and other things." It's like Colonel Sanders, isn't it? They are cast into molds. Some molds I have bought, some I've made myself. When I say myself, I mean my darling David made them for me. Oh, I didn't read this part earlier. No two sets are the same. The hand cast, hand mix, and hand paint make certain of that. Right, the chessmen are painted, sanded, have a top coat of resin, and foam base applied. The chess boards are made in various ways, using mostly resin and timber. This is one of the boards here. I'll grab a resin board for you so you can see that as well. I'll move these guys out of the way. This is the classical set and a Chinese set. I'm going to move that over. I didn't really make enough room here for me to go popping things all over the place. Give me a sec, back in a minute. Let's get a resin board. Right. Pop these guys on here. Now, this board is resin on ply, and these are some of the other figures. This is kind of very red. There's not a lot of details shown. The detail's there, but it hasn't had a second wash over it. Sometimes you'll do 2 layers of paint. One's a dark, but this is solid red. So it's pretty easy to see what they are. This is the castle. Big fellow with a massive mallet. And a wizard, which is the bishop in this particular situation. If you have a look at the other sets, you'll see, hold on, I'll grab another one, which will show you a little bit more detail. There you go. So that's the king. And on a nice base, there's the queen. And you can see she's got someone's skull she's holding in her hand. Lovely girl. So that's the resin board, as I was saying. And each one is different, absolutely different. Some are decoupage, some are inlaid, and some have items cast into them as well. Some I have an idea before I start, like the medieval knights that are chopping their way through a chessboard forest. Others I just make what I like at the time and match them up afterwards. Sell them on eBay. For any of your viewers in Australia, I'll sell them at half price till the end of May. The link is below. Just email in the contact seller area. Unfortunately, the price of overseas shipping makes it impossible for me to discount overseas purchases. Thank you again for showing them. I'm going to grab another set because there's another set down here, which is a medieval set. Let's back over here. And these guys can hop down here. And the medieval set has got a whole lot more detail because you can see this is a two-coat as far as the colours concerned. Bring this one over here. So, hence on these ones, you can see more detail because of the one paint over the other. And these ones are almost like stone. So they're all available. As I say, I'll see if I can find another picture down here. I took some photos of them yesterday. Here's some of the Chinese ones. And then I come down to the next one. These are the stone ones I was just showing you. And then this is the other little group in the corner. Does Vicky make regulation size pieces? I don't know. She might be able to place some comment at the end of the show. Put questions in the comments area after the show, and she can answer for you. Does Vicky dry brush details and highlights into the pieces? Ask away. Cut hair too. She does cut hair. Oh look, let me see if I've got one more thing here that she does. She's a talent. She's making some clothing for herself at the moment. That's all hand knitted, no machine or anything. I take my hat off to anyone who can get in and do knitting. It just amazes me. It really does. As I say, the detail is much better seen with those photos that I took rather than just having a look at them here through the camera. I'm going to move these out of the way down here. And she has another board there which is red. Oh look, I'll grab it. She spent the time to get things out for me, so I'll show you. So there's the pieces that are on it. And as I say, everything is a hand design. Whatever she feels like doing it with, she'll grab the raw materials. A lot of this is resin. There's inlay around the side. Again, these little guys, you may not see the detail too strongly, but it's there. It's there. When you're looking at it, you got it in your hand. It's pretty easy to spot them. So I'll move that across there. So thank you very much for being a sender-innerer, Vicky. And a lot of people, when they write a name up, they'll go through spell check or whatever. It is actually V-I-K-I. There is no C, there is no double K, there is no Y. We had a computer that used to speak, years and years and years ago when they first came out, and it was an Amiga, I think, and used to call her Viki'S. that's stuck with the family. I would be lost without a Hilton. Yep, Tipo, she loves doing it, and that's the thing, We both do stuff that we enjoy doing, so there's no rules. There's no real rules, and we have a great time. All right, so that's Vicky's stuff. I'll put that down to the side. I'll go back on to what we were doing. I am going to do some assembly on the dressing table that she bought, and I've been doing some repair work on it. Let me see if I can find it down here. I'll switch over here. She should decorate the Stanton bench. Now this is the table. What I've done with it. I'll see if I can come down here, get me in the picture a little bit. Come down here. So the thing with, turn it around a little bit more this way. The thing with Victorian furniture, it's got rounded edges. If you find something that's got rounded all over the place, and rounded on the leg here as well, everything is rounded, and they've also got all this carving, this ornate carving everywhere. Now, this is typical of the Victorian period. So we're talking 1930s, so I think it was 1837. It was 1800s. So Queen Victoria was in reign from, I think, 1837 to 1901. So that's 64 years on that she was in reign. So all furniture during that period, and she loved middle class England. So she appealed to the middle class of England, and the middle class of England liked to show off their wealth by having truckloads of Victorian style furniture in their homes. Now, this period started about 20 years after the Industrial Revolution. Now, not to say this was the only period happening, it's just that that's the period we know of, Victorian period. During that period, there were around about 6 or 7 other style periods happening. So it was resurgences of Rococo, I think, Baroque, and there's Greek style happening as well. Then we moved into art and craft after that. So there's a lot of history there, and I'm not up on all of it, but I do know that in the Victorian period, because it was starting to be mass-produced because of the Industrial Revolution. They had machines that carved. They also had people that carved. So getting something that's a genuine hand-carved, you look for something in all of this detail that's different. So these matching guys, they're the mirror supports. So there'll be something different. And I just need to tip this camera up a little. About there. That's a bit better. All right. Now they had spindle machines, like spindle molders almost, that could shape. And they had these massive big tables that could do maybe 7 or 8 panels in one go. The one guy operating the machine, they started off, the guy was moving pieces underneath the cutter, and then they got the cutters moving over the top of everything. These were driven by steam or by horse. It's amazing, isn't it? So the detail in this, they just went over the top, didn't they? Now, this one also has the mirror support all on the side. This one was absolutely black. It was just horrible. So it's just from years and years of grime. The other side wasn't black at all. So I used the UV Polish Reviver, the stuff that I've been using before. Cleaning this up took me ages, and I've given it a coat of Liberon finishing oil to try and bring it up again. Now also on this top, people have said to me, David, don't lose the character of the top. So it's got dents all over the place. Now I managed to bring this top back up. I cleaned it off with the restorer, and then I hit it with wax, and I kind of had some streaky stuff happening. I wasn't really happy with it. So what I did then, I put the 800 fleece, the Vlies, V-L-I-E-S, from Castell, put that on. It was an aluminium oxide pad, which is equivalent to an 800 grit paper. Went over the whole thing and cut it back a little bit, but still left the colour in it. And then I went 1,000, 2,000, 4,000 plating. Then I put the 5,000 speed cut and polish all over it, and hit it with the big pad and the ETS, and that's the result I got. Then I rubbed it all over, I should say, with a microfiber cloth. That's how that came up. Around the edges, I couldn't do that. So I cleaned it all up with the 4-0 steel wool, and then one wipe with the Libron finishing oil on a small microfiber cloth, like a kind of a pad. And I made sure that the cloth didn't come up out of the Romanogi here, up over the top, because that's what the profile basically is. So it coated in there. So I still got that kind of gloss finish right the way over. Now, one of the other things I did was the wheels on this. 2 of the brass cups that hold the porcelain wheels had come off, so I had to repair that. And also the wheels, the porcelain wheels, had actually jammed because from so many years dirt getting poured in between. So I mounted it in Arthur's leg vise, and then slowly got it to release. Used some very light oil, and just by working and working and working, I freed the motion up. And then, to be honest, I had all these ideas of putting a domino or a dowel up through the inside of the leg and putting a new piece of wood on and shaping it with a rasp. I ended up using epoxy. I filled the brass cup up with epoxy, turned the whole table upside down, put some blue tape around. I'll show you a picture. Let me see if I can find it. You won't know it. Back again. Okay. Should decorate your you're sounding distant, Dave. Need to check your microphone. Okay. All right. It must be running on the microphone that's actually on there. I can see if I can fix that. Auxiliary audio device. Okay. Well, it must be the other one. Hopefully, we'll leave it alone. I'm just going to leave it alone. Cancel that. I'm not going to do anything. We'll just switch this camera back. I was going to have a look at the sound. I'm not having a good day, am I? So what happened was, 2 minutes before the show started, there was no microphone showing at all. So then finally I got a microphone going, and we just went with that. As soon as you stood up, it improved. Okay. Did you hear any of what I was saying? I'm hoping you did. Can someone make comment? I know it was... Now the audio's better. Okay, thanks, Derek. So I know that it would have been quieter, but the gods are against me today. David, you're not late at all, mate. Today has been an absolutely horrible, horrible situation for me. Okay, so everyone says they could hear you. Matthew says no. Well, maybe, have you got a hearing aid, Matthew? Maybe you should turn it up. When you're looking at the camera, the sound is fine. When you went by the desk, could not hear you. Yeah, heard it all, just a little echo. Thank you. I'm not going to repeat it then. Thank you. So I'll bring things over to the bench to work on. All right, so the epoxy. Let me see if I can find the picture. There might be a picture here. Okay, there we go. So that's how I did it. I put the... now it's a different... It went to a different microphone. That's all it was. You can hear me now, can't you? So that's, as I say, blue tape around the brass. So because there were holes there, sounds a little different, but working. Because, as I say, there were holes there. But now, when I pushed the cup on, it squeezed out the bottom and I cleaned it all off. Excellent. Okay. I don't need to talk anymore about that. I'm going to do a little bit of just working out what was happening during the lead up, and also what I might do in future is bring things down here and with around about an hour to go and set up and do sound tests and all of that kind of stuff. I've been relying on things just working, and it didn't. It just didn't. Thanks, Silver. All right, cool. What a terrible day. Okay. So there we go. What I'm going to do is, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get the chainsaw. I'm going to show you a little bit. Give me a second. Yeah, so when I started to show up, the microphone was just showing no sound. So I'm guessing it's the microphone on the actual camera. This is the one that the patrons got from me. So it's going to sound a little bit different, but at least you can hear me. It does indeed, Stephen, it does indeed. Now, Stephen made comment when I showed some people, yes, Lenny, send me some photos in. Left hand on your right knee and your tongue poking in the right. Possibly. Stephen made comment that with this saw, I'll probably have stuff caught in behind here, need to clean it out all the time. And that's right, I do. Because what happened was I cut a lot of small stuff. When I cut this Chinese cedar down, these are a multi-trunk tree and they throw up suckers. So the largest of this is around about 6 inches diameter, or a bit bigger, and around 8 meters long, down to nothing. So I'm going to get some good wood out of this further down the track. Cutting it down was a piece of cake. It really was. Like, I've used chainsaws all my life. It wasn't a problem. And I have purchased some chaps as well. So I'm going to put those on so you can have a quick look. Now here, this little thing here, this is so easy. That just turns like that. And then I rotate. This is the oil filler down here, I think. No, it's on the other side. This is the tensioner, chain tensioner. I just turn that. And there it is. The battery's not in. So that's where the battery goes. And the chain just fell off because I took the holder off. But I meant for that to happen. So we have different things down here. This area here can get clogged up with small stuff. And that doesn't concern me. It really doesn't. Let me have a look here. I'll take that out of there. Let's see if I can put it back together. Tip her up on its side, like so. Take that cover off. Just as I thought it happened, the blade had just dropped to the side there. There we go. That in there, right the way down. Like so. Sitting on perfect. And then this goes back on. Couldn't be easier. No. Done. And no need for stuff out in the paddock. You know, no need for tools. It's all there. After I cut all that trunk down, there was possibly 10 individual trunks. That's the battery. I haven't charged it since. It's brilliant. I have not broken it. To take this cover off, you just push down on here, slide that back, drop the battery in, pull back on here, push down on the little lever here at the back, and then start. How easy. That's brilliant. And I'll take the battery out, push the button there, lift her up, push the cover back on, and it's got a little holder here, little hole. I hang it up on the wall. Too easy. Too easy. No remorse at all with getting that thing. I love it. All right, put that back over there. What's the next thing? Some of the gums have a cambium, which is worse than Kevlar. Really clogs up the saw, including the bar. If you're unlucky, the tip of the bar. Okay. Cool. It's a great little saw. It's a lovely saw. All right, what's the next thing? What's the next thing on today's disaster show? Thanks for sticking with me, guys. I don't know if anyone's watching anymore, or if people might have said, out the door. Next thing, we're going to have a look at Stephen GIKFKINS jig box that he made. So this is Stephen Rogerson. Hi Dave, thanks for bringing Cole and Pam in on your show and giving them a chance to show off a product that I've been using for a number of years now. I've used it extensively on my own personal boxes that I make and sell, but also being training students and teachers alike to use it in the schools. This is a little box that he's made for the jig. All right, so I'm going to go through. Thought I would just send examples of my latest box projects and suggest you might try to make a carry box for all the GIKFKINS jigs and all the bits and pieces that go with it. Here we go. I'll go to the next one. That's inside. How cool is that? What a great idea. Okay, the other photos are of the other photo, I should say, is a little dovetail Bluetooth speaker, and I'll see if I've got that there. There it is. This is one that he's made with the GIKFKINS jig. This Bluetooth speaker box that I make that sells well at markets and online. Thanks for sending that in, Stephen. That's great. You know, how nice would this show have been if I had a good internet connection right at the beginning? It's not a disaster show. Thanks. Thanks, Ian. You're very kind. Sound and everything. Everything was against me. I really do need to come down here an hour before, get things going perfectly. Definitely at Hilton. Make one for yourself. Why not? Okay, so I finished all the reading. We've had a look at David Rowland and Stephen Rogerson's dovetail projects. We've had a look at Viki'S chess sets. Talked about Chinese Cedar. Carbotech router lift comp finishing soon. Been an awful lot of entries. Remember, it's Australia and New Zealand only. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to, because I'm not mic'd up, this mic's not really doing anything, see? I should be getting a response there, and I never did the test. Give me a second. I'm going to bring it all over here. We're going to do it here. So what I have here, the two mirror supports. This is the boxes that go on, the drawer boxes and the base and everything that go on top of the table. Yes, well, the bar oil isn't actually leaking. It holds really well in that reservoir. I was very impressed. Well, it hasn't on this one. It hasn't on this one. Now, give me a sec. This is the drawer box that goes in between these two. Now, I've nearly got it back. I'm going to put a little bit more oil on there. There's some kind of a stain there. I've cut it back, and the oil will take, but it's just going to take me a little while. Now, you'll see inside here, there's some holes for screws. That's the first thing we're going to do. I'll move this back over here. I'm going to screw this box back together. And then we're going to put, how nice is it? It's so well made. So this slides in from the front and down. Like, whoop, wrong way around, David. Wrong way around. Not focusing. Come on, actually, spin him around this way. That's better. How come no one told me? There we go. And we're going to put a couple of screws in there. I kept them all. And little things I've done. This is the capital or the freeze or whatever you want to call it. This was a mess. Vicky cleaned it all up. And there was a taper. Also there was a taper in the box as it slided in. It was tight going in backwards, but putting it the right way went perfect. This goes on the top of the mirror. So again, what I've done with this is oiled it with the finishing oil, and it's brilliant. So I've got 4 dirty big screws that are going to hold the mirror supports onto here, and they've done it really cleverly. And there's a couple of these. I'm going to get a little bit of wax. I'm rattled. Have you noticed? So I'm going to use a little bit of the wax on there before I put those back into there. That goes there. And a screwdriver. And I don't know whether I'll use the Stanley or maybe a traditional screwdriver from the period. I yelled really loudly, but you couldn't hear me from Perth. I'm sure you couldn't. Vicky got it online at an auction. So just go type into the internet furniture auctions, and it should be fine. It should come up. It's a beautiful piece. Nearly there. You can see behind me the artist's easel. I don't know what period that's from, but I don't think it's traditional English. I think it's possibly Indonesian. It's really nice, and I think it's made out of Pacific maple. Just looking at it. Which screw next? I'm thinking this one. A little bit of wax again. The wax makes it so much easier. The wax makes it easy for the screw to go into the hole again. My father used to use a lot of brill cream, you know, like it was the thing to do back then. And when he was driving nails into timber, he'd run the nail through his hair first. Then bang, bang, bang. And it worked. It worked for him. Okay, I might use the Stanley on this one, see if it's going to give me a slightly better reach. No, I can't get in there. I'm going to have to go in with this one. When I went to the auction house to pick this up, I should have taken some tools with me as well, because these things, you take a stubby flat blade screwdriver with you, and then you can disassemble the top from the base. I'm going to tip this upright to make it a little bit easier for me to put that screw in. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I love this stuff. Old-time IKEA. Nearly there. Getting hard towards the end. Got it. Okay, I'm going to put one in the back as well. It's got a couple of holes at the back here as well, so I'm going to put one down there. Oh, put some wax on first. It really does make a difference. Oh, that's gliding. Got another one at the other end. And around so you guys can see what's happening. Too much wax, come on. Interesting question. I've got to get an adapter for my Yankee screwdriver. I haven't done that yet. I've got the screwdriver, but I haven't got the adapter. So, interesting thing about the timber from this period, or from the furniture from this period. Reading up on it, they say a lot of the Victorian furniture had veneers on it. Now this, you can see in some parts there are veneers. Now, let's have a look at. You're not going to see it too much on there. Maybe if I turn it around this way. Now you can see here, this is a veneer, but it's not the paper thin veneers that we have these days. This is a veneer that's maybe 5 millimeters thick this way. And it's over the top of the cheaper timber underneath. So there we go. Now that's great. Now when I took it apart, I saw these holes. Where are they? There. Those two holes there. Now guess what they're for? I'm going to show you. Let's do this, David. Let's do this. So see these dirty big fellows here? Bit of wax on there. And that's that side. I think it's that one. This is the mirror support. So we put the screw in up the top here. Hold on, let me see if I can show you. So you can see all the way through. So just here, I'm going to put a screw in there. And see it popping out here. And another one, because there's two go in. I'm actually going to put a little bit of wax on the item. Down there. Make it easier. There we go, that's good. Start the screw just a little bit. Pop that one in there so it comes through as well. And then we've got this here. We get the screw started. I love it. I absolutely love this. They are screwdriver holes, definitely. How amazing is that I can do this by hand all the way up to that point. The wax makes a huge difference. So the screwdriver goes in the back here, like that. And then we do the tighten. See that? You watch this start to lift as I pull it up. There we go. And these were loose when I got it. They were flopping all over the place. Lovely. So there we have, how's the time going? Plenty of time. There we have the top put together, nearly, looking a whole lot better than when I first got it. That's sitting beautifully there. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the other one on as well. So give me a second. And then on the back, you have all these areas where you can put screws in to lock it down onto the top. And there's also areas across the front here. See along here? And then across the back, after you've been doing all your maintenance, this panel here, which that's the inside, that's the outside. This is the back panel that goes across at the back there. It's so good. I love it. And it's rounded and a little bit of stain on the end. because it's going to poke its head around the corner here. Hold on, let me show you. Well, it's going to, just here, you can possibly see a little bit there. See that? And then also past the end there as well, it shows. One of the great things I like about doing this stuff is it's a discovery. It's a learning process. We just take for granted, you know, walk into a room, there's furniture, well, yeah, it's furniture, big deal. But then seeing all the reasoning behind and the methods that they use, I guess it's kind of my fascination with the stuff, having a great-grandfather who, and, you know, and also parents. The camera's struggling to focus, is it? I don't know. Maybe. One on each stream, have you? Well, it might be struggling to focus a little bit, David. I'm not sure, because I can't see it from this end. Put a bit of wax in there again. And a bit of wax in there again. What I might do is I might trim this video so that, why have I got it up that way, you idiot? I'm never going to reach it. Why didn't anyone tell me? They said, Dave, you're going to have to stand on tippy toes. Yeah, I might trim the video so people don't have to suffer the beginning being absolutely horrible. There, 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 and there. And there. So what's everyone been up to? Rather than just me prattling on. Put that in there. Alright. Stream speed catching up. It's dropped a couple of frames again. I'm gonna... Could be okay. I can have a look when I find my mouse. Give me a second. I might slow it down a touch. And output. Let's go to 4,000 instead of 8,000. That might work. Apply. Okay, there we go. I've just slowed it down a little bit. Maybe that'll work better. Thanks. Picture's good for you, Ian. Great. Got some oak planks that my friend had. He is 67. That his dad had in the shed, still wrapped up, trying to figure out what to make. Oh, a dresser would be nice. Keep it the period. Thanks, Merrick. My query for George is that shopping cart calculated the postage of Victoria to be $63. Goods cost $150. Okay. Issue may just be stream. It's okay. Only bought the 9. Okay. Tipo. Apart from one white screen with spoolie thingy, being a good picture and sound on take 2. Cool. I'll keep tightening this up. Move down to the second hole down here. And because I wanted to throw the mirror on, just to show you what it's going to look like. Of course, we've done a little bit of work with the mirror as well. I'm going to move this now over onto here. Doesn't look too bad. Looks pretty cool, as a matter of fact. Okay, now the mirror I said I was going to do something on. Now the mirror was an absolute mess, but I've cleaned it. And it's working fine now, and it's got the proper mounts on the side, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to put the freeze on the top. Up the top here. Now, one of the things, this was split. It had split off, and there was a lot of dirt in there. So what I did, I got a tongue depressor. See this guy here? and some 120 grit paper. Put that together, open this up ever so slightly, and just went down on the inside on both surfaces before I glued it back together, just to make sure I had a proper bond. All right, next one is this. It's just a couple of screws. This would have been, you tell me, machine or hand carved, I don't know. Vicky would like to think that it's all been hand carved, and I understand that. And she was looking, one of the things to work out if it's hand carved or not is if you can find something is slightly different. If there's a pair that's obviously a matched pair, if a machine had done it, you'd think that they'd be both exactly the same. Well, she's found some discrepancies between them. So she may well be right that it might have been hand carved. You just look at it and you think, how the hell did they hand carve that? It's unbelievable. Yes, it's the original mirror. In the one that Arthur did, it is a beveled mirror, Stephen, but this one is not beveled. I'm presuming it's the original mirror. You know, who am I to say it's the beveled mirror? I did say it was, maybe I was lying. But I presumed it was the beveled mirror. So there we go. That's what it looks like now with the top on. Okay, does the mirror not have to be put in place while doing that? No, no. So on the back here, I've got these clamps that hold the mirror in place. So I'm going to undo these. So these guys open like so. And so I'm going to put it on the support. So we sign and drop it down into position, sitting there perfectly. You can't hear me, of course. Tighten that up. And the other side. All right, I'm going to try. What I'm going to do, I'm going to move it across. Because I can. So you can see it a bit better. And now that the wheels are turning, doesn't look too bad, does it? That's bloody beautiful, as a matter of fact. What I might need to do is I might need to loosen the supports off just a little bit and move them across. This side it's closer than this side. That's around 1/2 inch, this is around 1/8. I need to send it that way around about 3/16 of an inch, about 5 millimeters. And I can do that because I can adjust those holes in the top boxes. How nice. All right, so the other thing I wanted to show you, give me a sec. Are these things. Now, I put a post on Facebook and also on Instagram about these drawers and how when Vicky was pulling the drawers apart, like taking the fronts off to clean them, she found that they were threaded. These knobs, apparently round knobs, were typical of Victorian furniture. Everything was round, like Queen Victoria, round. So all the edges are round, everything is absolutely round. The mirror is sitting pretty well. It's sitting pretty well. But I will screw them down. We're leaving it separated like this. Of course, this afternoon, we're going to take this up and put it in the house. So I'm going to carry it in 2 parts. I'll take the mirror off, but the boxes are fine. We'll put this up, and it's just There we go. All right, so what we've got, we're nearly done the hour. This is cool. 56 minutes on the second run. So these are threaded, and this is threaded. So you just screw those in. See that? They just screw in. And that's the handle. And it's really nice figured timber too on the front. Mahogany, I'm sure. I'll pop that in. And the drawers just go in beautifully. Now the other one, this is the top drawer for on the top, obviously. Yeah. Just a taper. There's no thread on that. That's just a taper. Can't be the original mirror. There we go. Let's push fit. And then we go in here. Nope, goes down here. I'm going to grab the other boxes and throw them in. Why not? Okay, so I'm going to throw the other boxes in, or drawers, I should say. So these go here. Maybe down on the bottom one, or over on the side. Yep, they've been fitted. Look at that. This one down here. This big fellow down here. I'm going to move it back in a second so you can see the whole thing assembled. Well, you know what? You know what, Peter? For the price that Vicky paid for this thing, we're really not concerned that that's not an original mirror. It would be nice to have it original, but if it isn't, it isn't. Testing both sides. That works. That works there. These ones down here. The other side. And the other side. One more drawer to go in. And then you can see it all. Where's the other drawer? The other drawer's over here, of course. There. A little tight there. What's this one? That goes in nicely there. That one goes in nicely there. I'm gonna wheel it back. I'm making sure it doesn't fall over. I'll get the other camera. Okay, I'm going to grab the other camera and have a bit of a look around. Each drawer unique fit, definitely. Yeah, I'm going to mark them underneath as I take them out. I'll just, with a crayon, I'll mark 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and so on. I'll switch the cameras. Where are we? Camera 3. So what do you think of that? That's not a bad unit, as I say. You think I should put wrong labels on it, Stephen? That'd be good. Vicky did really, really well with that. It's a beautiful piece. I'll stand back out of the way. A little dark for your home decor, yes. it's a little dark for what I particularly like as well. I like a little bit of a lighter colour with cedar, but this Vicky loves this kind of stuff, and it really will fit with the colour scheme and everything that she has in her particular areas of the house. She loves it, so that'll be great. We'll pop that in her room this afternoon, and she will be tickled, absolutely tickled. Dave, I'd like to put forward a motion that you declare beer o'clock early today. You've earned it. Any objections to the beer o'clock is fine. We're going to have the Zoom meeting for the patrons in a couple of minutes, and if you want to join in with me, it's only going to last for about 15 minutes or so. There's a couple of questions I want to ask you, and we'll take it from there. I'm going to quickly check that I've got everything done. What a shame the show didn't start properly. Not to worry. Happy wife, happy life. Exactly right. Talking from a man who knows properly. No. Not to change the subject, but did you try reversing the order of cutting dovetails on the GIKFKINS jig? No, I haven't yet, because you can see I've had a bit of a busy week. But I'm going to try that, and we'll see what happens. But Cole's probably fighting his finger. Dave, don't do it. Anyway, we'll see. When I get a chance. All right. So the Victorian dressing table, 1830 to 1900. So that's around the period that Victoria had her reign was 1837, I think, to 1901. So hence the furniture during that period was Victorian style. And as I was saying before, there were probably 6 or 7 different styles happening at that time. With resurgence of previous styles. I think we went from Greek classical into Victorian, and then from there I think it went to art and crafts in England. So there were other areas as well. Is that easel in the background? Yes, it is an easel. Definitely. Okay, so we went through that, and as I say, the big thing with Victorian furniture is the rounded form. You can see everything on there. Corners, legs, everything is rounded. You'll be sorry. Will I? Oh, I've got to try it, mate. I've got to try it. And then I'll turn around and say, you know what? Dave's an idiot. Cole was right all the time. Okay, so David and Stephen's dovetail projects that they created with the GIKFKINS jig. And if you want a GIKFKINS jig and they are quality, and you know Cole will look after you. If there's any questions you have on how to do something, just get in touch with Cole. He'll sort you out. They're sending them overseas to the States. They've sent a few over during the week, which is fantastic. I'm so happy that Cole's had some result for his effort coming, driving 600 kilometres down and 600 kilometres away, getting accommodation in a motel, all that kind of stuff, just to show you guys the jig. I think it's fantastic. So it's great that he's been rewarded in some way to cover his costs, which is fantastic. Viki'S chess sets, we went through those. Aren't they lovely? I love these little guys. and Chinese cedar. I showed you a chunk of Chinese cedar. This is it here. Now the title picture, this is Chinese cedar, which is also known as the Chinese mahogany. So the title picture had that, the mirror support, which is also mahogany. I'm not throwing them away. Carbotech Rattle Lift Comp is closing in a few days, so get into that if you're in Australia or New Zealand. GIKFKINS jig website listed below. DEWALT chainsaw, love it, absolutely love it. It's one of those things that if you look after it, it'll look after you. That's all there is to it. Chaps, give me a second. Here they are. Can't mention DEWALT. I can't mention DEWALT without mentioning Still, because otherwise Ian will get upset with me. Not for any other reason than I went down and I bought them from him. He didn't give them to me, I went and bought them. So these are, it's my new cowboy outfit. These are chaps. Maybe I should start doing exotic dancing with them, like on the Full Monty. No, I don't think so. No one will watch. So these I'm going to use for when I'm using the chainsaw. There have been a couple of people that are in the Dave Stanton live stream Facebook page, which is a private page. You can apply to get in if you want to. everyone just chats about everything. Yes, village people. I don't think so, Stephen. So John was one of the guys in there, and he had been working all day. You know, like everyone just about used the chainsaw, and they've been fine. But John was working all day, and he got tired at the end of the day, put the thing down, and it went straight into his leg. Massive stitches. I don't want that to happen to me, so hence I've gone and got these. I was thinking about getting a cheap Chinese pair. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I was going to get a cheaper pair made in China. I spoke to Ian about it, and he said, look, these things have got, they're Australian approved. And, you know, approval for stuff in Australia is pretty hard to get. Hence, that's why I got these things. So when you see me doing some chainsaw videos, and I'm hoping to get back into videos soon, it's just life has been a spin out lately, I'll be wearing those. All right, everybody, thanks again for watching. Look after yourselves, be nice to each other, and I might see you midweek in a midweek show. See you later. Bye. Thanks for watching.